A trauma crisis tonight. This medical chopper would normally be landing at the UMC Trauma Center, but it's still closed, so it had to take the accident victim somewhere else.
News 13's 11 minutes of nonstop news begins now. Good evening, I'm Ross Becker.
And I'm Tricia Kean, in for Cathy Ray tonight. An accident tonight stretches the system, and hope is fading that the center will reopen soon. Also, a new terror alert tonight, and why some pilots are locking their uniforms in the hotel safe, and the death of the greatest baseball hitters of all time. Ron has a story coming up in sports.
But Tricia, first tonight, our medical crisis.
Southern Nevada is in its third straight night without a trauma center, and already people with critical injuries have paid the price. 2 trauma patients were airlifted to the Los Angeles area today, and tonight a single car rollover accident near Pahrump. The victim would have gone to UMC's trauma center, but was airlifted to Summerlin Hospital. That's where News 13's Veronica Sanchez is standing by live tonight with more. Veronica?
Well, Tricia, we're talking about a very lucky person because at least this person is being treated right here in Summerlin. But if there were multiple accidents on this night, multiple traumas, who knows what would have happened to those victims or where they would have gone. And of course, this is all due to the fact that the trauma center at UMC is still closed.
We're a lot slower than we usually are, and we're bored.
At UMC's emergency room, patients are still being treated, but there is always a sense that something is missing. That's because it is. The state's only level 1 trauma center has been closed since Wednesday, and that worries heart patient Donnie Petty.
And I just woke up this morning and I was hurting in my chest and in my shoulder.
Petty wonders, what if? What if he has a major health problem?
Suppose I had a real bad heart attack or something and they had to take me there, fly me in. You know, and there wouldn't be no one to help.
And the concern grows more real as the nighttime approaches. More activity this 4th of July weekend could test UMC's emergency room as well as other Valley hospitals. UMC has already converted what used to be the chest pain center into a makeshift trauma center, complete with 2 trauma beds. It's a tough transition.
In the trauma center, we could do a lot more. We could resuscitate up to 4 patients simultaneously. Our CAT scanner was nearby. Our operating rooms were nearby. We had more staff.
What will happen next? County officials tell us they're pursuing every possible angle, but nothing has worked out. Doctors are not coming back. They say malpractice insurance premiums are just too high.
We are doing everything that we can. I know that all the doctors who are working are very, very caring and committed to making sure that everybody gets the fastest help, the best help that they can. Unfortunately, we just can't provide it at the trauma center.
As major trauma patients continue to be flown to other states, patients and staff members here wonder what will be the breaking point, and will anyone die on the way out of Nevada?
It could be me or it could be you. And you need to go to trauma and you ain't got it. You may not make it to California.
Now, fortunately for the victim here in Summerlin, there is adequate trauma care for this person, and most Valley hospitals are not crowded on this night, so they can handle maybe 1 trauma patient, maybe 2, but that's about the extent of it. Reporting live from Summerlin, Veronica Sanchez, News 13, inside Las Vegas.
We said it's the 3rd night of this so far, so where's Governor Gwin during all of this? Well, he's been out of state having surgery on his knee. But on July 1st, before UMC closed the trauma center, Gwin said, "I've done everything within my authority to provide short-term relief. Long-term lasting solutions to the medical malpractice problem will require legislative action." And apparently Clark County officials have not asked him to use his emergency powers to end this crisis.
The UMC trauma crisis puts a strain on other hospitals and an already low blood supply. This week, United Blood Services had a blood drive at the Suncoast. More than 800 units of blood were collected over 3 days. That's a record. But United Blood Services has been shipping half that amount every day since the trauma center closed on Wednesday. That's 20% more than usual.
And some new information tonight on that man who went on a shooting spree at LAX yesterday. The FBI says he went there with the intent to kill. 3 people died, including the gunman, after he opened fire at the El Al Airlines ticket counter. It turns out the shooter is an Egyptian immigrant, and yesterday was his birthday. Investigators are trying to figure out if the shooting was a hate crime, but they think the man may have had other mental problems. Some in Israel still think it was terrorism. But there is a new warning out tonight for pilots. Hold on to your uniforms.
Yeah, pilot unions are warning members that terrorists could try to steal their uniforms and credentials in order to launch another attack. News 13's Tiffany Sargent joins us now from the newsroom with more about the warning and the safety precautions one local pilot is taking. Tiffany?
Yes, Tricia, his name is Jack Donahue. He's an international pilot that flies all over the world, and he says despite tight security both here and abroad, he says he's keeping an eye out for anybody who may be trying to steal his identity. Pilots and flight crews on layover overseas may be the target of terrorists trying to gain access to commercial airplanes. It's a warning from the Department of Transportation, a warning international pilot Jack Donahue takes very seriously.
We have procedures now that no one can get onto the jetway without having their ID and picture verified by a ground agent.
Still, there are reports from international flight crews of attempts to steal those IDs and official uniforms. That's why the security bulletin from the Airline Pilots Association was recently issued. It gives a rundown of safety guidelines for flight crews and pilots, such as having crew members stay together during hotel check-ins, putting uniforms in hotel safes, and always having possession of identification credentials.
I've been in Taiwan where I've gotten out of the hotel van and have left my chart bag on the van, whether it was intentional or not. They were ready to drive away.
Meantime, Donahue says no matter how much technical security you have inside airport terminals, yesterday's tragic shootings at LAX could have happened anywhere.
If you take the security and move it out, where do the people go? Are they in the streets? Are they standing outside in the rain, the snow?
Donahue says everyone needs to do their part in being vigilant against terrorism, including pilots, which means keeping a close eye out for their own safety, no matter if they're in the air or on the ground. Well, Donahue says they are currently working on an ID badge, which is universal. It has a computer chip in it, so airline employees can report it stolen, and it will be immediately deactivated if it is stolen. So he says that they can continue to improve security measures in order to keep terrorists from taking over our planes. We're live in the newsroom. I'm Tiffany Sargent, News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Californians are also trying to figure out what went wrong when a plane crashed into a 4th of July celebration near Los Angeles. The small plane went down just a few minutes after it took off, crashing into a crowd of people near San Dimas. 4 people were killed, including 2 children in the park and both men on board. The pilot was a National Guardsman who flew air ambulances. His friends say he knew what he was doing.
Oh, Mike would have been devastated that anybody got hurt because of that plane. And I feel so bad for the other families, too. It's awful.
Federal investigators are focusing on the plane's engines. They say the right engine sustained the most damage and that there are signs that the left one may have lost power. The hot, dry weather has fire departments all over southern Nevada on alert tonight.
Yeah, the fire danger is extremely high, and that means that no one is taking any chances out there in the Spring Mountain area. Fire crews are on standby in the Spring Mountain range. The threat of fire is so extreme that extra firefighters and equipment are here from out of state just in case. An air tanker is waiting for action in Mesquite, and a Forest Service crew is stationed in Pahrump for the first time in years. It's all because the Spring Mountains haven't been this dry in decades.
This is very dry. We've been in drought conditions for several years, and things are getting pretty bad. Yeah, just a little spark, and it can take off. With a little bit of wind on it, it'll take off and just go.
That's exactly what happened in the range 2 years ago when lightning sparked 2 fires. Fire restrictions have been in effect since Memorial Day weekend, but with lightning season just getting started, everyone there is on high alert. And this is kind of cool. There's a new way to fight fires. It's called Dino Gel. A Florida company's been working on the formula. They say the gel stops any fire in the forest or in the home. The gel can be used in tanker planes or from a firefighter's backpack. The Dino Gel company is hoping the Forest Service will use their new firefighting gel.
And we have seen our fair share of fires right here in the valley, and some maybe arson. Investigators are still trying to figure out what happened here at the Madre Mesa Estates a couple weeks ago. 20 homes under construction were destroyed. This isn't the only unsolved case. Some date back more than a year, but Clark County investigators say that's not unusual.
Are we surprised if it takes more than a year or so? Not usually, because some of these things take a long time to develop.
Well, if these fires turn out to be the work of an arsonist, Lineback says they usually do it for the insurance money. So-called vanity setters start fires to get credit for putting them out. Regardless, the fire department says at least one arsonist is out there.
The lone holdout casino in the culinary strike was back at the bargaining table today. Golden Gate employees are still picketing outside, but the casino and union negotiators met today to get to work on a deal. So far, though, the Golden Gate's owner, Mark Brandenburg, still says he simply can't afford to pay the same wages as those large strip resorts. Golden Gate workers have been striking since Monday morning. Well, it may not have been hotter than a firecracker, as the old saying goes, on this day after the 4th. It sure was pretty hot, though.
It was. Let's find out if it's going to be just as warm as the long holiday weekend continues. Nate's here with our wake-up weather.
Hello, sorry about that, Tricia. Yeah, everybody wants to know just how hot is it going to be as we continue through this long holiday weekend. We're not setting any records. We remain very much above normal, and we're keeping an eye out for the possibility of some rain that may be entering southern Nevada, not during the holiday weekend, but maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And as you guys were just talking about, we want to make sure that it is a wet thunderstorm and not a dry thunderstorm, because lightning is just what we don't need, especially without any rain. In the meantime, when you're getting up and at 'em on your Saturday morning, it is going to already be sunny and it'll already be warm. Looks like about 83 at 7 o'clock in the morning. The wind will not be a factor, and obviously we'll be climbing well into the triple digits during the day tomorrow. We'll have that forecast along with the rest of the holiday weekend when News 13 at 11 continues with more complete coverage inside Las Vegas.
All right, Nate, and right after that forecast, are creditors hot on your tail? Debt consolidation may cool them off. Contact 13 shows you what to watch out for.
And Metro Police are watching out for you on the roads this weekend. News 13 at 11 o'clock. We'll be right back.
It's a scary sleep disorder that could be affecting your child. Learn the facts and how you can help them fight night terrors. Tuesday at 11. It all begins with 11 minutes of nonstop news only on News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Michael Jordan, KTNV. Make me like Mike.
This summer. Share the magic.
He's lean, he's mean, he's 13.
Share the fun.
Hey, Coach, check this out.
The kid's rooming with you.
No. Share Like Mike with the whole family.
Where's Cambridge?
No homework, no game.
Who are the U.S. presidents of the 20th century?
Like Mike, rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Without you. Without you.
Ashley Furniture Home Store wants to offer you independence. Purchase any of these gorgeous sofas for only $4.95 or any of these beautiful dining rooms for only $4.95. Plus, for a limited time, pay no interest in 2002. Pay no interest in 2003. Pay no interest in 2004. You pay no interest till 2005. That's totally free financing till 2005. We pay the interest for you. No wonder Ashley Furniture is the #1 selling brand in North America. Ashley Furniture Home Stores. You're going to love this place.
At Discount Tire Company, we've improved the way we do business. With any tire purchase, our one low price includes rubber valve stem, lifetime balancing, mounting, road hazard warranty, tire rotation, and flat repair on every tire we offer every day, including major brands like Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal. Stop by any Discount Tire Company store today for one low price. Discount Tire Company.
I want you to take a look at my horse.
He knew he could help her. He didn't know he would love her.
I never expected to feel this way again.
Robert Redford, the Horse Whisperer, ABC Monday.
This portion of News 13 Inside Las Vegas has been brought to you by The Lift.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ross Becker, Cathy Ray, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, Ron Futrell Sports, and Tricia Kean with Contact 13. This is News 13 Inside Las Vegas.
Welcome back. In an effort to prevent potential trauma situations, Metro Police are on the lookout for drunk drivers this holiday weekend. They're setting up DUI checkpoints around the valley, hoping to snag any drunk drivers before they put themselves or anybody else in danger. Officers are stationed at Sahara and Boulder Highway tonight. They will be back out in the southeast part of the valley throughout the rest of the weekend. And officers want to remind you, if you drink and you drive, you lose.
Plan on some pretty heavy traffic over the weekend in the valley here. It's just really part of the overall rise in traffic over the past few months. In fact, May traffic this year on I-15 was up almost 12% from May of last year. In fact, it was the 7th busiest month ever. But this weekend could break another record because the 4th, of course, was on Thursday. The long holiday weekend could bring even more people back and forth across the Nevada-California border. I-15 is going to be jammed no matter what.
Yeah, certainly this weekend. You know something else that's going up besides the traffic? I saw that forecast earlier. We're looking at like 111
yes.
coming up.
Yeah, and some neighborhoods are going to be at 115 or higher.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, it's the desert.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the summer.
Yes. It's the summer. Hot town, summer in the city. You know all those old songs. The bottom line is the heat is going to be with us. We are keeping an eye out for the possibility of something rolling into southern Nevada on Tuesday or Wednesday. Right now it looks more like Mount Charleston be the one to get any rain if there's going to be some. Meantime, right now, yeah, it is still awfully warm out there. How about 95 degrees? Oh, we're down to 93 now at 11 o'clock. Well, it is still warm. You got 20% humidity. The wind is from the south at 6. The barometer, that's still rising to 9.84. Other readings around town at this hour. Let's see what we got for you. Well, down in Henderson, you guys are at 99 degrees, still awfully close to triple digits. Nellis Air Force Base, you're at 95. 93 right now in North Las Vegas, and Summerlin checking in at 92, while the National Weather Service gives us a 95 at the top of the hour. Everybody reporting very warm temperatures, despite the fact that we had some high cloud cover throughout much of the day today, and we'll show you where that came from and where it's going. Meantime, we're in the 80s in a couple of towns, Prump, Boulder City, Kingman, Searchlight, but still right at 100 in Laughlin, and of course cooler up at Mount Charleston at 68. Today's high was 107, just like yesterday, a few degrees above normal, no threat to the record. Low this morning, a comfy 82. Looks like about the same thing tomorrow morning, and the sun does get up at 5:30 on Saturday morning. Couple of moderate readings of dust, couple of moderate readings of ozone. Carbon monoxide's in the good category. Your pollen numbers coming up in a minute. Wanted to show you a little bit of a different view here than we normally do. The clouds definitely coming up from Southern California, and they're going to be hanging out here off and on throughout the weekend. But what we're talking about for a possible change into the early part of next week is an area of high pressure that's building over the Four Corners area of our country, and the circulation around an area of high pressure is clockwise. We're also going to get a little low-pressure system sitting off here, so we may have funneling of very moist air coming not only from the Four Corners, and a lot of times the Four Corners area high-pressure systems can bring moisture all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. So we're just talking about an increase in moisture in the atmosphere over southern Nevada over the next several days. Whether it amounts to something, we'll just have to wait and see. Brandon Rue will have the updated forecast for you here on our weekend news. And there we are at 93, 95 right now for Phoenix, and 77 in Albuquerque. How about the rest of your family and friends across the nation? At noontime, it was in the 80s and 90s for just about everybody, and it's still pretty warm in many parts of our country with very high humidity readings. And as far as rain is concerned, it is still falling deep in the heart of Texas, certainly where they don't need it, as the awful flooding continues down that way. Here's the Newscast for the rest of tonight. There were a couple of high clouds around. They should be gone by morning. 83 is what we're thinking when you start the Saturday. During the day tomorrow, possibly upwards of 109 with southwest breezes to 15. Let's take you out to the recreation areas. Lake Mead, no doubt about it, 115, and awfully crowded out there. Please be careful and watch out for your neighbor. Even crowded up on the mountain. The afternoon high temperature gets into the low 80s. And yep, Tricia saw that 5-day forecast, 111 on Sunday, then 110 Monday. Certainly an increase in clouds for Tuesday and for Wednesday. And again, Ross will keep an eye out for the possibility of rain in the high country on Tuesday.
It would actually feel good to get some rain.
No kidding.
All
yeah.
Right, thanks. All right, question for you. Are you drowning in debt? But you're not alone if the answer is yes. But what about those debt consolidators? Are they the answer for you? Well, Tricia has more now from Contact 13.
Well, Ross, you have probably seen the ads all over TV for companies who promise to clear your credit and get you back on track. Some of them don't live up to their promises, but you can protect yourself by reading the fine print in your homework.
Christopher Traver got into a bind trying to make ends meet.
At the time, my bills are probably about I would say about $2,000 a month in bills I have.
Christopher has renal failure. He's on a waiting list for a new kidney. Because of his daily dialysis treatments, Christopher wasn't working enough to cover his bills. So he took the advice of a family friend and went to Credit Counselors of Las Vegas, a for-profit debt consolidator, for help.
And basically have somebody look at the my credit to make sure it could get back up to where it was.
Christopher signed a contract agreeing to pay Credit Counselors of Las Vegas $85 a month to take over paying his bills. But then he became too sick to work.
With my illness, it is very, touch and go on a daily basis. I might be out of work for 3 months.
With no money coming in, Christopher knew he was in trouble. His family agreed to cover the bills, but not Credit Counselors' $85 per month fee. So Christopher tried to end the contract. That's when Credit Counselors pointed out the termination fee, $850, money Christopher didn't have.
It's like if you sign a contract with the health club, whether you pursue the services and use them for the term of the contract or not, you owe the agency that money.
Michelle Johnson sees problems like this all the time at Consumer Credit Counseling Services, a nonprofit debt consolidator. She says many people who go to credit counselors don't realize where their money is really going.
If you're paying $60 or $70 or $80 to the counseling agency, that's money that could very well be going towards liquidating that debt more quickly.
So before you choose a consolidator, compare fees. Consumer Credit Counseling Services charges a flat rate of $10 a month, but not all nonprofits are the same.
That just because an agency is nonprofit does not mean it's inexpensive or free.
And here's something else to consider. Counseling may not be the answer for you.
Credit counselors serve a wonderful purpose, but you have to be able to evaluate, if I'm paying $1,000 a month, and my income is $1,500 a month, and I'm paying that leaves me $500. Where am I ever going to get out of the situation? And the answer for many people, unfortunately, is no, but it is the prelude to bankruptcy.
Well, if you do decide that credit consolidation is the way to solve your credit problems, take this advice. Please do your homework. Find out if the service is licensed with the city or the county and check out its record with the Better Business Bureau. Right now, at least 2 Valley consolidators are operating without licenses. Check the fees. Make sure your money is paying off your debts and not the company. And read the fine print before you sign a contract. This way, you will avoid the same problem Christopher is having. By the way, Credit Counselors of Las Vegas told Christopher that if he could get a note from his doctor saying he's not able to work, then they will let him out of the contract without that $850 fee. Ross?
Well, while some of you may be, as we saw, drowning in debt, people in Texas are on the run from high water. Up next, why Texans are heading for the hills and why local volunteers, local people right here in Vegas, are ready to help.
From halfway around the globe, the world-famous crocodile hunter.
I'll bring a few animals out that potentially could kill you.
Next over.
Monday at 4 on News 13.
How much are you going to save during Levitt's 4th of July sale? You'll never know unless you get to Levitt's today or tomorrow, the last 2 days of our 4th of July sale. The prices are low, and you don't need to leave a down payment. And you won't make any monthly payments or interest payments until next 4th of July. So how much can you save during Levitt's 4th of July sale? Get into Levitt's today or tomorrow only and see for yourself.
I bought a new car for $24,009, but after one short week, it's worth only $17,900. I got the blues.
You buy a new car and drive it off the lot, and a few weeks later, it's worth a fraction of what you paid for it. Why? When you could budgetize at Budget Car and Truck Sales and buy a pre-owned late model vehicle for as much as 40 to 50% off the new car price. Choose from hundreds of certified pre-owned vehicles, too. At Budget, save big during our huge 4th of July Freedom Sale. Get freedom from payments till 2003. Freedom from interest with 0% interest for 60 months. And freedom from down payments with 0 down. Plus, with every test drive, receive an American flag pin. The 4th of July Freedom Sale at Budget Car and Truck Sales, family owned and operated for over 35 years. Now with 3 locations on West Sahara, East Sahara, and our newest location on West Tropicana, across from New Orleans. Or shop us on the web at buybudgetlasvegas.com.
Budgetize. It's what smart people do when they buy a car.
visit to San Diego, contact the Bahia Resort Hotel.
Hi, I'm John Elway. You heard it here. Desert Discounts Toyotas.
And Desert Toyota wants to give you $100. This July 4th weekend, test drive any new or used vehicle at Desert Toyota and get a $100 savings bond. Plus, you can drive away in a new Tacoma for just $199 a month with $0 down. This July 4th, take a test drive and take home a $100 savings bond for 3 days only, and only at Desert Toyota. Call 1-800-NEW-TOYOTA.
Who loves you, baby? The furniture store, that's who. Come on in. We don't advertise low markdown prices to get you in the store. At the furniture store, your complete home furnishing center, we have the largest selection of high-quality furniture and accessories at markdown prices every day. We have the best manufacturers, biggest selection, and finest quality home furnishings. Hard to find, one of a kind, and in your home today. If you didn't buy your furniture at the furniture store, you paid too much.
Welcome back. The water just keeps rising in south central Texas.
Federal aid is coming and local Red Cross volunteers are on their way to help. This started out as a trickle this morning, but quickly swelled into the raging waterfall you see right here. People have been ordered to leave their homes as the water keeps rising, and some homes got swept up in the current.
This police chase had a bizarre ending in the Bay Area today. According to the California Highway Patrol, troopers stopped to check this car on the side of the road when the driver took off. The chase ended in the middle of Highway 101 after troopers put down a spike strip, and officers thought the guy had doused himself with gasoline. So look what they did. They stormed the car with fire-retardant foam. They removed the driver from the car, or the foam did. He is charged with reckless driving and evading arrest.
Oh, my goodness. Well, coming up, we will tell you the story of a local man who fights terrorists and runs triathlons.
And baseball is honoring the legendary Ted Williams. Ron Futrell has sports. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Ross Becker. Tuesday at 10. It's a show that's passionate and real, and everyone's talking about Houston Medical. Tuesday at 10. Then, new at 11. Your child screams, a door slams, you jump out of bed and run, fearing the worst, and you find your child fast asleep. It's a disturbing sleep disorder. What do you do now? Find out how you can help your child fight night terrors. Tuesday at 11. The 11 minutes of nonstop news, plus Nate's wake-up forecast. Only on News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Ashley Furniture Home Store wants to offer you independence. Purchase any of these gorgeous sofas for only $4.95, or any of these beautiful dining rooms for only $4.95. Plus, for a limited time, pay no interest in 2002. Pay no interest in 2003. Pay no interest in 2004. You pay no interest till 2005. That's totally free financing till 2005. We pay the interest for you. No wonder Ashley Furniture is the #1 selling brand in North America. Ashley Furniture Home Stores. You're gonna love this place.
RC Willey lights the fuse to make this a red-hot 4th of July weekend. Now through Saturday, some of the hottest values of the year, plus July 4th through 6th, RC Willey will give you an instant rebate of 7.25% on anything you buy. Save on big screens, TVs, stereos for home and car. The fantastic values on washers, dryers, refrigerators, and appliances have gotten even hotter. July 4th, Thursday, and July 6th, Saturday, there's free hot dogs and soft drinks. Saturday is your last day to enter to win this 3-person watercraft. It's a red-hot 4th of July weekend, and RC Willey's put everything on sale. Hurry, it all ends Saturday.
As you race to move ahead in this busy world, sometimes it's easy to lose track of your neighbors whose lives have taken a different turn. But there's a simple way you can help give these lives new direction.
This is Father Joe Carroll. Your support has helped us change the lives of tens of thousands of people through our comprehensive programs and services.
Make a gift of your car, boat, truck, motorcycle, van, or RV, and together with Father Joe, we can change lives. To learn more, call 1-888-FATHER-JOE.
Okay, so we got the outlet covers.
And the corner guards.
Okay, what about the gate to block out the stairs?
We got the gate.
And the cabinet locks?
Yep. Cabinet locks.
What about the crib bumper?
We have the crib bumper.
Okay, then I'll pick up the nanny cam on the way home. Yeah.
The baby!
The baby!
If everything was as safe as an M-Class, you'd have a lot less to worry about. Security, unlike any other.
Take it, baby.
When you're injured in a car accident, you need immediate attention from an experienced attorney that you can trust. I'm Adam Kuttner, and that's why I personally negotiate each and every case. I'll make sure you get to the right doctor right away, repair the damages to your vehicle, and even put you in a rental car out-of-pocket expense. You concentrate on getting better, and I'll take care of the rest.
Injured? Ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 382-0000.
YourInsideLasVegas.com. Get updates on construction, road closings, and accidents. Just choose a specific location, and our webcams give you a live look at traffic. Only on News 13. Sports with Ron Futrell. Brought to you by the Desert Automotive Group and their 11 dealerships.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ron Futrell and the sports team.
Well, the life and times of Ted Williams were honored tonight in Boston. Williams died earlier today in Florida of heart problems. He was the greatest all-around hitter in the game. He could hit for average. He could knock the ball out of the park. Williams was also a fighter pilot for the Marines in World War II and the Korean War. Now, in the mid-90s, I sit down and talk to Ted Williams. We talked about that 1941 season when he batted .406.
A lot of hitters, they have one thing that they're connected with that people will never forget about their career. For example, I mean, they'll remember Babe Ruth was 60, and they probably might remember me as .406. Oh, there was nothing going to keep me from playing. I didn't even give it a thought, and I've always said that. But if I'd have known how important .406 was going to be to me, I don't know.
You might have taken a couple of days off towards the end of the season, you think? You didn't.
Pray for rain or something.
You kept playing.
Yeah, I know. I never had an idea of not playing, but as I look back, .406 has been important to me.
All right, here's an interesting combination for you. A guy who fights terrorists and runs triathlons. As Mario Diaz shows us, this is also a family affair.
By most accounts, Jeff Jonas appears to be your typical father in Las Vegas suburbia. He likes to spend as much time as possible with his kids. At the same time, he is far from your typical father. The 38-year-old is a former quadriplegic who founded SRD, a securities company that is currently helping the U.S. government with its war on terrorism. And when he's not helping in the battle against bad guys, he's competing in triathlons with these guys. His daughter Tiffany and son Dane, arguably two of the top kid triathletes on the West Coast.
I find myself to be really proud of seeing my kids doing really well in life when they have a dad that's so busy. So to have them achieving so much is really great.
Well, I really used to just play and watch TV, and then one day I just went out there and watched my dad, and it looked really, really fun and exciting. So I tried it, and I liked it a lot.
He always did it all the time, so it looked kind of fun, so I decided to try it.
So for Dane and Tiffany, do they look at their father as a man who battles terrorism or as a man that they compete with? Or perhaps it's something else?
Well, I look at him as my dad.
I look at him as my dad.
Which is probably the best way to look at him. Mario Diaz, News 13 Sports.
Good night, everybody.